Hi, this is James Governor from Redbunk, and we're here for a little preview about the IBM Impact 2013 Unconference. So obviously Impact is a big enterprise conference that IBM runs, and the Unconference is really something for developers. And if you're going to run a conference for developers, then ideally you want some people that they will know and respect. And I have two people here that I certainly...
Why am I here then?
Oh, come on, you've... Well, that's a good question. We'll ask you that, perhaps. But Tim O'Reilly and Grady Booch, both in their own way, have done a great deal to define probably the careers of quite a few people that work in development today, and perhaps from different sides. We have Grady, who is very much part of the world of enterprise development, and Tim, who's been definitional in terms of web development. And we only have about 5 minutes, so I'm going to shut up a little bit now. But Tim, I understand that mobile is something that you're thinking a lot about, and really what IBM has been using this phrase mobile first. What would you talk about at the conference, the Unconference, about mobile and how that all is changing?
I think we're still in the equivalent of the green screen days of mobile, when people haven't really figured out what it means to move, say, to the GUI and the PC. We're at the same stage of mobile. We're still thinking of phones as being small screens. And the cutting edge apps actually are increasingly forgetting the screen. They're using sensors in the phone to build UI for context where the phone knows things already, and so you don't have to tell it. And so if you think about, if you look at an application like Square, Jack Dorsey's new startup, you're running Square Wallet on your phone. The cash register in the coffee shop is Square Register running on an iPad. You walk into the store, your face shows up on the cash register. You never take the phone out of your pocket. That's mobile first. So I would think a lot about how do you actually move away from thinking about the screen as something that is the primary thing that people interface with. There are so many sensors in the phone. There's so much that the phone can infer. The other example I try to get people to think about is the way that mapping has evolved from paper through interactive maps online, and now you look at the future and you have this Google driverless vehicle. The map has completely disappeared, and you can imagine just talking to your car and saying, take me to the office. It knows where to go. Again, the UI has become much, much, much more minimal.
Okay, well, I mean, I think it's interesting from my perspective just that actually IBM has been thinking about some of this stuff. So today they had an example of the insurance industry, the classic kind of, oh, you've had a car crash and, how do you report that? And I think the important thing was that the context was there. They had this idea of you could just press and it would get the location from Google. So I think that some of your thinking is pretty aligned, and IBM's getting there. So Grady, this world of developers and IBM refocusing on the practitioner, what do you think is most important in terms of what's happening with software development today, and what might you like to talk about at the Unconference tomorrow?
Well, to actually question your premise of refocusing on the practitioner, I think we've always focused on the practitioner and the practical, because our goal is to help customers be successful out in the real world. But that being said, the landscape is constantly shifting. On the mobile side, for example, the easy path that some enterprise customers are taking are simply to provide a crunchy outer shell over their enterprise that they declare as mobile, and that by no means exploits the potential. It really is a socio-economic, technical issue that they must embrace, the business side and the technical side, to really rethink how this endpoint device can produce a conversation with their customers. And that's really blowing up a lot of the ways people approach software development right now, because before it would be like, well, the customer's out here and we have these particular bits of data we pass back and forth, and you sort of throw them over the wall to one another. That's classic back office stuff. The back office is here in my pocket now, and I want to have that kind of conversation. So that mental shift is something that I'm seeing a lot of our developers and the developers of IBM products have to deal with.
Okay, well, I think that's, we have some alignment there. Apparently IBM is all about the practitioner, so I'm told by Grady. But pretty clearly, this question about mobile first is a very big question. It's not about just reskinning something, it's about rethinking probably all of the issues about how we engage with the customer, and hopefully we'll talk to some of that at the Unconference, Impact 2013.